Chef Earl here with Mr. Boggs.
Hello.
So he is going to demo his famous chocolate chip cookies. Now, Chef Earl never runs, but if she does, it's because his cookies are in the teacher's lounge. And then she will run. But I play this sport that if you take away the equipment, it's called walking, or also known as golf. So I never run. But his cookies are amazing. Now, these are just chocolate chip cookies, but they're not just any type of cookie. These are a little bit different than what Chef Earl uses. And I always use the Toll House cookie recipe that's off the back. It's the original Toll House cookie recipe. And Toll House actually bought the recipe off of a woman who invented the chip. She actually cut up a chocolate bar and used this recipe to make chocolate chip cookies for the first time. So that's where that recipe comes from. His is a little different. His will add a yolk instead of 2 full eggs, and his sugar's a little different. So I'll let you go ahead and take over.
Okay.
So go ahead and start. His butter's a little different too. He doesn't just soften his butter. You actually, what have you done?
Yes, I actually melted the butter a little. So
he has a nice glass bowl.
So I mean, it doesn't need to be complete liquid, but I like to get it softened down.
So he actually puts it in the microwave for 30 seconds, 15, and
you can do that if you have a glass bowl. Don't put metal in the microwave.
No.
So what we're going to do is we're going to add our sugar first, both brown sugar and white sugar. So this takes in a full cup of brown sugar. You get that? You're going to pack it down.
You got new sugar too.
Awesome.
Anytime. Anything for you.
And we're going to add that in. Then we're going to do a half cup of white sugar. And so if you don't have, what if you don't have brown sugar? You just add all white sugar. You can get some harder cookies that way. Nothing wrong with that.
So brown sugar actually keeps them a little softer. And then you're going to use a paddle, correct?
Yes.
All right. If you were doing a hand mixer, your attachments on a hand mixer would be fine. That is actually a paddle. They use.
Gotta plug it in.
Oh, yeah. Unplug your microwave. That's what happens when you have to demo with the Chromebook. Now, do you name your KitchenAids? No.
I do not.
You're using Ronnie.
Okay, so let's mix together. We're going to go ahead and add in our egg.
And I've already separated it. So
1 egg, whole egg.
And then he has 1 yolk that I've already separated with my hands. Caught the yolk in the center and just kind of let the yolk fall through. You've seen me do it. Do you need a little?
Well, a little special.
Maybe.
That'll work.
Or I can get a special.
This works okay. So we've added in our egg.
So the egg and the yolk, nice.
Together.
So does the yolk would add a little more fat to it?
Yes.
Right?
So yeah, it's gonna make them a little more sticky. Put them together.
Does that help with the consistency in the middle? Yes.
Yeah.
His cookies in the center are very soft and gooey almost. They're really good.
And we're going to go ahead and add our vanilla. Now, something I like to do, if you have vanilla and you don't use it a lot, and you get it out of the pantry, give it a good shake. You're going to find some of the stuff that gets down to the bottom. I already shook this one.
Yep.
So we're doing a tablespoon
Hopefully that's the whole thing.
of vanilla. Quite a bit. Okay, so that's incorporated. Next is going to be our dry ingredients. We're doing this in a completely separate bowl. Do not add them one at a time to this. You get bad cookies that way. So first we're going to start out with some flour.
He's using all-purpose. So why do you say you get bad cookies this way? Because that's how I do it, Mr. White.
Does it add it all in at once?
Well, not all at once. No, I'll do it in steps.
I like to keep it like I want to have as much of the baking soda incorporated into the flour as possible because if the baking soda gets all in one place, I want to distribute as much as possible throughout the cookie.
Good idea.
So we do the flour, salt, and the baking soda. I'll mix those all up in a separate bowl. So use 2 cups of flour. Half a teaspoon of salt. And a half a teaspoon of baking soda. What you do now is grab yourself a whisk, and with these dry ingredients, you're going to mix those together so they're nice and incorporated.
He wants to be sure that baking soda is nice and incorporated into that flour. Doesn't just stick in the center.
Turn your mixture on low, the lowest setting you have, and we're going to slowly add this in. If you dump it all in at once, it's going to spray flour everywhere.
You have a big plume of flour.
That's a good way
soda.
to upset your parents.
You'll start to hear your mixer slow down just a little bit. You pour most of it in.
So incorporated. Whoa, wrong way. Now, for mine, this bowl here, I like this bowl. It's nice and big. It's a little bigger than metal bowls that normally come with the KitchenAid. The problem with them is that the beater doesn't always get all the way down to the bottom. So you want to take a spatula and try to fold over that kind of melted butter mixture at the bottom. If the butter was more liquidy, you have more problem with this. Try to scrape off the sides. Give it a little mix. And there's our base cookie recipe.
Yay.
Now, at this point, you can change this recipe up. Now, like I said, I call this my recipe. I found this recipe on all recipes, like any recipe. But how you cook it makes a difference. Now, we're going to add chocolate chips today. Another favorite of people is that I'll put in actually 2 cups of crushed up Heath bar and do that instead of chocolate chips. So you got Heath bar cookies.
You want this to be?
Maybe.
Okay.
I got it.
I was gonna say sometimes they make them.
So you need 2 cups, the standard bag here, 2 cups.
He uses milk chocolate. You could use semi-sweet.
No, this is semi-sweet.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah,
He's using
we were semi-sweet. You can use other ones. You can use dark chocolate.
Over here too, sorry about that.
Dark chocolate, milk chocolate. Now, for this part, you just want to incorporate it. You don't want to leave the mixture on for a long time. So once the chips are incorporated, you're good, because if that butter was really melted and warm, you're going to start melting the chips. And then just get it incorporated enough. You may need to.
This is where I would probably fold the chips in, but he did it really slowly, so that would be fine.
Yeah, if you just left the mixture on again, they'll start ripping the chips apart. They'll start melting in there. It may not be all that great. And try to get it much off the beater as possible. So we're doing that. And here is our cookie mixture.
Oh, that looks good.
And ready to go. Now, I make my cookies fairly big. Really big, I'll say.
Yes.
So So what I'm going to do is I have a standard flat baking sheet here. Put down parchment paper. And if I use an ice cream scoop and make a bowl-shaped cookie, I can get about, I'll put 12 cookies on there. So I'm going to get that. So that's what we're going to go for. So I take a scoop out, try to do like a heaping scoop like this. Loosen up a little. And we're going to put that down onto our cookie sheet. Let's try to judge it best you can. I'm all about the same size.
So they can cook evenly, bake evenly. No matter what size, just trying to keep them the same size.
So I always do down one side, and then down the other. So I can fill in the rest so it all ends up being even on my cookie sheet.
Perfect cookie dough. You know the kind you just scoop at that you're never supposed to eat?
Now, I mean, your options are to cook the cookies or take a cookie dough, sit in front of the TV, and cue up Gilmore Girls and eat your feelings.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So here's our 12 cookies. That one's a little small. We're going to add some more cookie dough to that. Put that in.
Wow.
I'm good to go. And there's a little bit of cookie dough here left. Is it enough to make another batch? No. Is it enough for you to sit down and eat while you're waiting for cookies to bake? Sure. So we're going to put this in the oven for 17 minutes.
At 325. That's another thing that's a little different from regular cookies. I feel like they're mostly at 350. Mr. Boggs is at 325. So we will go ahead and bake those off, and just like, you know, any cooking show, the magic product will be at. Hey guys. All right, we're back. We're ready to pull our cookies out of the oven. We've been snacking on our cookie dough. Oh my gosh, look at them. Look at those.
So you should have like a nice kind of brown, crispy area on the outside, and that's where you want. That's what you want. And then, yeah, go ahead. Get that. That work. So these are going to cool off. They're going to shrink down some. There you go. That's better. They'll collapse down some, but a nice crispy part should stay on the outside. Some people like their cookies a little more firm. These will not be crumbly cookies at all.
With the yolk?
They will not be hard.
Yeah, with the yolk and the extra brown sugar, they're always going to have that nice soft consistency. All right, we're going to go snack. There you guys go. Mr. Boggs cookies. Bye.